Hey, this is Martin Motnik from Accept, and my favorite band is Mr. Big.
I had a sneaking suspicion a certain Billy was gonna be part of your band. Martin, is my assumption correct that one of the greatest bass players of all time is one of the key reasons that you're choosing this band?
Yes, obviously, of course. I've been a big Billy Sheehan fan since I discovered him when he was with David Lee Roth. So I actually did not know him when he was in his original band, Talus, that came afterwards. But I'm a big fan of the first David Lee Roth solo albums. And then when I found out that Billy's starting his own band, I was going to jump on it and devour it.
Yeah. Awesome. Maybe let's jump in straight with just kind of like a pick of a song that you think that, because here's the thing, Mr. Big, almost everybody in the world knows one particular song by Mr. Big.
Hold on, little girl, show me what he's done to you.
But what many of those people don't realize is what an intense metal band Mr. Big actually was. Right? Kind of like Extreme as well, with More Than Words. You know, everybody knows that little acoustic thing. And they have some songs that truly showcase the skill of everybody involved. And if I remember correctly, didn't they also like sometimes on shows, just like in the middle of a set, would all change instruments and just kind of play around with that? So
That's correct.
If you had to pick one song to get us going that for you stands out, what would it be?
Well, my very first song that I heard was actually their second album. It took me a little bit to catch up, which was Lean Into It, with that big hit that you mentioned before, To Be With You, which was a big shock for many girls that went to see them live.
Yeah.
And then they realized this is not what they expected. But the opening song is called Daddy, Brother, Lover, Little Boy.
Daddy, your brother, your lover, and your little boy.
The trademark of that song is that Billy Sheehan and Paul Gilbert, the guitar player, play a unison solo with Makita power drills. And that's also always been a highlight when they play it live. So that's absolutely a song. And of course, I had to try it too. I took my dad's Bosch power drill, made in Germany, and tried the same thing. I even did it live one time, and there's even a video, and I horribly failed. And but I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. And did you one time also play your guitar with an electric toothbrush?
Yeah, I did that too. So that was kind of like a little bit of a tamer version. That's true. Good memory. Yeah, that's on my first album. I did that just more out of fun.
Yeah.
But so that's absolutely a song that was kind of like the opener for my whole history of following that band. Another song is the opening song of the first album, which I then, of course, checked out later. It's called Addicted to That Rush, and it starts with this really intense, super fast back and forth between Billy and Paul playing tapping. So ever since I picked up the bass, I was a big Billy Sheehan disciple and studied everything what he did, and especially tapping is like, I really jumped on that. And so I really had to slow down the album and then figure out what was he doing. He's doing this double tap on his one fret, so he basically just taps on two frets, but it's so fast, it's insane.
Yeah.
And so that was all the stuff you do not need as a bass player, but it's all the stuff that's fun.
what's cool about this band is that if you, like, on paper, if you put a hard rock or a metal band together and you have one of the most famous experimental guitar players and one of the most innovative bass players together in one band, you quickly think that this is going to be a band that makes 20-minute songs with solo after solo and crazy things in a progressive way. Mm-hmm. But these guys were always able to still focus on the songs, and even if most of their songs were much more intense than To Be With You, they were still to-the-point songs. It's not like, oh, here's the 8-minute track that would be a short Dream Theater song. No, they wrote 3 to 4 minute rock songs, but just played by extremely, extremely talented people.
Right, and it's a very catchy music, and I mean, it just proves that they had several songs in the charts, mm-hmm. And on the radio. So it's all a very. And the mean thing about it is, because of course, and I was like playing in cover bands when I started out, and I always thought, oh, come on, let's cover a Mr. Big song. Let's just do it, and then. Until we tried it, and then we realized how difficult it is to do it justice and to play it properly, because it's really technically on such a high level. And then Pat Torpey, rest in peace. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. He was laying down a groove, and the same thing. You don't notice it. How intricate and how amazing the groove is that he plays, until a drummer really tries to play it, and he's like, I don't know how many arms does he have? How many legs?
What would be your third pick?
Oh yeah, I was afraid going to ask, because there's so many that. I mean, I would probably have to go with Green-Tinted 60s Mind, which is also from the Lean Into It album. It's just mostly because that album has just been so influential. I mean, I just listened to it over and over. I had it on vinyl, I had it on cassette tape, I have it on CD. I just listened to it up and down. But then there's so many later albums, and then there was even a phase where Paul Gilbert left the band and Richie Kotzen came in, and he played on a few, and that gave the whole band a different sound, of course, because Richie is much more of a blues-oriented guitar player. I just saw him recently, not too long ago, solo in Nashville. Amazing player, great singer too. Or Winery Dogs when you sing with him. Almost turned it into a different band. But also great. But I have to be honest, my favorite guitar player is Paul Gilbert. I also tried to get him on my last album to play a guest solo, but apparently he was too busy. So I'll try next time. But luckily I heard that they're gonna go back on the road again, and apparently they're gonna have a different drummer now. Matt Starr was playing with them for a while. As far as I heard, it's gonna be someone else now, but they have not, or at least I haven't heard yet. Who the new drummer is, but I'm looking forward to it. I hope I can catch them.
You mentioned Winery Dogs. Billy Sheehan plays in more bands than there are stars in the sky at some point. Do you actively continue to follow everything that Billy does beyond Mr. Big, or do you keep going back to the Mr. Big time?
Oh no, I definitely follow him, and I was lucky enough to, I mean, we live in the same town now. We live in Nashville, and occasionally we run into each other, so it's very nice. It's like he was my biggest hero, and then at some point I started seeing him, and almost became like a colleague. Even though he's like so much more above me, but he told me one time he knows who I am, so that was like I was very proud.
you are German, but you live in Nashville, like most of the several members of Accept these days. However, you are in Germany right now. Share with the fans what's going on right now.
So yeah, I'm currently in Wuppertal, which is actually Wolf Hoffman's hometown, and we're wrapping up rehearsals for our European tour that had been postponed twice. It's the tour for our album, still current album, To Mean to Die, and we were supposed to go in 2021, and it was postponed by a year, 2022, and now it's early 2023, and we're finally going on tour. Finally going on the road. We're gonna have the amazing ladies from the Iron Maidens open for us, so that's gonna be a great combination. And yeah, we were rehearsing here for about a week now. Things are going really well. This is my hotel room, so this is where you spend your lonely evenings. But I got my little travel guitar here, so
awesome.
Got to stay in shape. We're working on new songs too, so there will be a new album. And other than that, yeah, we're getting ready. We're gonna have our first show in Oberhausen, and then we'll be on the road until February 24th. So if you go on acceptworldwide.com, check it out and come see a show.
Awesome. It will be a modern celebration of classic heavy metal all night with you guys combined. That's great. Well, Martin, thank you so much for taking the time out of very busy rehearsal days to share a little bit about your love for Mr. Big. I highly appreciate it. And go see the show.
Right on, Jasper. Always good talking to you.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.